New Springs, welcome again to another episode of Everyday Gospel. I'm really excited to have Jeannie with us today. You all know her, you love her. She sings with us, she does announcements, she serves with the welcome team and the connection team. So Jeannie's just been awesome for the entire time that we've been open as a church. I know Jeannie's got some insight. She's handling this quarantine and stay-at-home order pretty well, like the rest of us, and she's got a unique role in it. So Jeannie, why don't you tell us a little bit about where you work, what you do, and what you guys have been up to?
Sure. So you all know I'm an assistant principal. So we're pretty much the ones behind the scenes trying to make things work as best as possible. I'm an AP at Banyan Creek Elementary School, and that's located in Delray Beach, Florida. So we're pretty much working side by side with district leadership, my principal, constantly in communication with the counties to make sure that we're getting information out to our teachers as quick as possible, and then looping the parents in as well.
Okay. So what are some of the ways, to me, that it just seems like a crazy thing, having elementary school students doing school online. What's that been like? What are some of the things that you guys are, doing for them?
Oh man, I have a little one at home as well, so it's funny helping to get it going and then making it happen and applying it at home with my kids. So it's very interesting to see the connection with that. But as administrators, our goal was to get our teachers prepped.
Okay.
It's one thing to know that our parents and our kids were looking forward to it because they had that time off before we started this, but it was a big shift for our teachers. So we had to make sure that our teachers were prepared, make sure that they had the right steps, the right trainings. A lot of things was pretty much put in overload. Yeah. And, you have people with 25 plus years of experience never opened to Google anything besides the mail. So that curve for a lot of our teachers was fast and quick. Okay. But I can say that I'm pleasantly pleased at how many of our staff members stepped up to just automatically take care of it. We had people creating tutorials, do-it-yourself type deals. We had people working hours with their teams. Our leadership team put in a lot of hours to make things possible. Just knowing that you have staff on campus that has the connection with everybody else and just jump right in and create those Google Classrooms. So many things had to get developed as it was developing. Yeah. Attendance, how are you going to take attendance every day? How are you going to collect grades? How are you going to manage behavior during a Google Meet? So there are so many little things that you wouldn't think about need specific planning, and also rolling out too, so that everyone feels comfortable the day we launched the Google Classroom or the distant learning platform. So a lot of work went into play before the first day of starting. And we want to make sure our teachers felt like they were supported and received as much support from us and resources from us quickly and also carefully.
Yeah. That's a lot. It's, it hit us all just at once, and no one was really prepared for it. And, just thinking about our own lives and our own jobs, but then the added school dynamic where you're trying to keep teachers and students and parents busy, well-informed, and operating smoothly online with so many different levels of competency when it comes to using computers, using the internet. So how would you say it's been going for you personally? Has it been positive experience, negative? How's it going?
It's been a good experience for me, not just because I'm an AP, but just because I'm able to see how much my little one knows. Yeah. You'll be surprised what your children can produce when you're not with them compared to when you're with them. So I can see how much she's learned all year. I know we always have the summer or nights when we read to our kids, or the summer break when we actually have to be with them longer than we normally are within a year, but having her with me day by day and seeing her listen to stories, answer questions, participate, and then on the other end of it, want to do it after the fact.
Wow.
After she talked to Google Meet. She's kind of self-initiating, wanting to work on her CVC words, like consonant, vowel, consonant words, because that's what her teacher's working on that day. So, oh wow, okay, let me really listen versus us sitting but not actively listening, because we're all working from home, or many of us are working from home on top of that. So it's been pretty cool for us, to be honest. It took her a while to put mommy in the teacher role, outside mommy role. So I had to reestablish some new rules to take mommy seriously when I certain things, because now I'm mom teacher versus just mommy nurture or mommy everything else.
Right. And what grade is your oldest in?
VPK.
Okay. So
VPK.
wow, she's
the kindergarten next year.
Gotcha. So she's online doing online learning in VPK. That blows my mind. But
every day at 10 o'clock, she gets on that Google Meet with her teacher, and she makes sure she's ready to go, whatever that day theme is, whether it's show and tell or story time or whatever the case may be. She's on at 10 o'clock every day.
Wow. I mean, it sounds like the silver lining for a lot of people, if they're able to keep their children busy and doing the work, that they're probably going to be ahead of the game compared to where they would be without the online learning. At least that's my feeling. In my opinion.
In some cases, yes, because you actually have to make sure that they're engaged in some way. It did get to a point where, with me working full time, because I still have to log, 7 o'clock, I'm on, 7 to 4, 7 to 6, sometimes depending on how I'm fielding my calls and how I'm fielding my messages and day-to-day situations. But like one day we may not work on all of her work and just have her Google Meet, and that's the Saturday because mommy's just been so busy working. So I've had to learn how to balance the expectation of what I want her to do versus what they give her to do, and find something that works.
There you go.
We have to come to a point to find a system that works. You don't have to do science today, but do reading and math, and be okay with it. I also think it's good to communicate with the teacher. Let the teacher know, here's how my home is looking. What can we do to modify what she's supposed to do or what he's supposed to do, so that they're not having complete meltdown, because we do have cases where they want to get it all done, but it's impossible because there's other factors in play in the house, full-time parents, other siblings, one computer. So there are those obstacles and those challenges, but communicating with the teacher is probably the best bet that I would suggest, because the teachers understand and they know, because some of them are working from home too with kids. It'll take something as simple as dialing back the required assignment so that the parents can feel a little bit more relief than trying to make sure it's all done. And cause some stress and anxiety in the home, which is not necessary. The goal is to make sure the kids are engaged. If they're engaged in some way, even if it's them meeting every day in the Google Meet, that's them connecting with A, socially with their peers and their teachers, and so B, they're getting some type of academic exposure for that day while on that Google Meet.
That's good.
The parent can just kind of pace the day after that. Making sure they have to do it all every day. That's not really the case with the distance.
That's a good standard, because it's it's everybody's environment is going to be very different. Where like our household, myself and my wife, we're working full time. My wife being a third grade teacher, and then we've got the two little ones running around the house. And every student, every classroom, every home, they're going to have varying levels of internet connection, and all of those things factor in. So I like the way you put it, that just as long as we're keeping kids engaged and they're able to be online and just interact with people rather than assessing results in terms of how well they're doing the work. I think that's a good standard. Well, kind of the last thing I wanted to ask you, Jeannie. So this is one of those big times that none of us have ever experienced. And I get questions a lot about, what's God doing in the world? why allow something like this? What, why do these things occur? And nobody realistically has a definitive answer for that. But I think a helpful thing to think about that we can answer is, how is God using this time and what's going on? What's he teaching me personally?
Right.
And so what are some of the things you feel like God's showing you, either about your family, your job, yourself? What are some positive things that you're seeing with your relationship with God?
God is forcing me to spend time with my family more. This is what we needed, because I've been doing this for a really long time, and you think you have it together, your system, routine, but when you're home like this, you're forced to reevaluate your systems and routines.
Right. Yeah.
Not so much what I want is what God wants. So I've learned that I have not spent as much time with my girls as I thought I have.
There you go.
Not spent as much time with my husband as I thought I have. So with us being home more now, I'm able to look with all of my eyes wide open. Shades are off, nothing's on, nothing's distracting me, and I'm able to see the fullness of my environment. I'm able to see the interaction between my girls and actually pay attention to the words that's being said to each other when they're having a little spats. I'm able to listen and see my husband versus seeing my husband. I know he's talking, and I know he's saying a few things, and I know I can hear him, and I hear some of the things he's saying. But at this point, I'm hearing everything because we have nothing but time.
Right.
At first, there's always a distraction that's coming in to get between topics. You just have to kind of address. So I just feel like right now I'm at a place where I'm comfortable understanding my environment and my life, and bringing my girls and my marriage and kind of reevaluating things that I do and the things I say and just the way we're living. And I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying just the peace that we have with each other to now kind of have real, genuine conversations without interruption.
There you go.
It's easy to go to work every single day and you're working for 8-9 hours a day, maybe 10 hours a day. And then you come home to your husband and your kids, or your wife and your kids, but you're not fully off.
Yeah.
You come home from work, you're still thinking about whatever happened before or after, or you're trying to.
Tomorrow.
Correct. You're trying to leave at the door, but technically it's still in your mind. It may not be portrayed in what you're doing at home. Now there's not that door that I had to walk out of and then to walk into my home. We're here all day. So it's given me a better chance to just kind of appreciate the time I'm having now with my family.
That's so good to hear. It's I've had a lot of conversations throughout the last couple of weeks of similar observations where we have our families. The normal rhythm of American life is we're up in the morning, shove a breakfast bar, down your throat, and then out the door, go do the work thing, and then the family gets maybe 2 hours together, and everybody's doing something else. And admittedly, the first week or two, it was, man, I can't get anything done. I can't do any work. I can't do what I need to get done. But now learning to appreciate and refocus and see the blessing that our families are. God's given us, kids and a spouse, and it's a major blessing. So I'm glad you're able to learn that, and let that be an encouragement too, that we serve a God who's gracious, that on days where you're on it and you're super mom and super AP and you're killing it, he loves you just as much as he does on the day when you feel like nothing's going right. We're all in this together, and there's grace in Jesus Christ. So just keep looking to him for your strength and your courage. And
thank you.
I trust he's going to keep guiding you and guiding everybody else.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Well, Jeannie, we love you. Thank you for taking some of your time out of your busy day. I know you got a lot to do. But trust, this is going to be an encouragement to a lot of people. I love having these conversations.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. It will end. There is going to be an end to this. Right. Who knows when? We don't know when it is, but to all the parents out there, just continue to be positive about whatever interaction this process brings to your home, and also look at God for guidance through it, because it could be a message or a reason why we are where we are right now, and just kind of enjoy the blessings behind it, and not let the stressors come before that, because there's going to be some stressors, and that's realistic of us. It's just ignore that. But just enjoy the positives at the end of the day when it comes to this whole distance learning process. And I can tell you, just being with my kids every day now, and feeling that love, and they see the appreciation, and they understand that mom is working now. It's helping me be a better mom.
That's great to hear, Jeannie. Well, we love you. We can't wait to see you in person soon. Whenever it's safe. I'm glad that that's not my call, it's someone else's call. But we look forward to seeing you, your girls, Tony as well.
Thank you. I miss everybody too. Thanks.